this is Sarah, the Catholic Homemaker. Today I want to talk to you about sinus rinses and natural nose sprays that I have tried out myself and just give you my review on that and maybe a couple other alternatives to those things that can help with your allergies. First of all, welcome everybody to my channel, and all those who are new, please consider subscribing to my channel so you can continue to help us grow this community. Also hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Also share and comment below if you have any alternatives to what I discussed today. I'd love to hear natural alternatives especially. So let's get into it. I've been doing the NeilMed sinus rinse for a very long time, but my husband, he went out and picked up this store brand one, which is basically the same thing. It's a squeeze bottle, and I really like the squeeze bottle better. But this one, I gotta say, the Walgreens store brand is not so good compared to the NeilMed brand. So if you're gonna do the squeeze bottle, definitely go for the NeilMed because it has more squeezing power. And like, some people really like the neti pot, but personally, I do not like the neti pot because I just need more pressure. If I'm like somewhat blocked at all in my nose, I cannot do the neti pot. It just does like a drip, and I just want relief immediately. So if you want relief pretty quickly, the squeeze bottle is the best bet. The downside to that though is that you have to replace this thing. At least I know the NeilMed one, you have to replace it every 3 months, but just check the box where you bought it and see what it says. And I think you can sanitize it by the microwave, but I just use warmer hot water and soap to rinse it out and just let it dry on the countertop. Now, I actually bought this recently, and I thought this came with a bottle, but it did not. X-Clear is the brand. And it comes with these sinus packets. Now, most brands, it just contains salt and sodium bicarbonate, but this one contains both of those ingredients as well as xylitol. And I guess the xylitol, according to the guy who designed this, says that it takes away the stinging feeling, and I can certainly attest to that. So I do like these the packets better than the regular ones that would come with the store brand one or with the NeilMed one. It just says sodium bicarbonate and sodium chloride, and you always need to use distilled water. Now, I don't like to use the microwave, but I think it's fine to use the microwave to heat up the water because it's just rinsing out your nose. I don't see a problem to that, but let me know in the comments below if you know something different. I personally don't heat up food or things that I'm consuming or drinking in the microwave, just because of the potential harmful effects of that. But I think, as I said, just doing a nasal rinse is fine. So I fill up the bottle right here to 8 ounces. Just check the marker on your bottle with distilled water, and I heat it for 30 seconds in the microwave, and that's perfect. I put in the packet and I just shake it up, and then I do either side, and then you're supposed to blow your nose from there. I've been doing this for months. I hadn't really had to do this for years unless I had a cold or was sick. But for some reason, for several months in this year, I've been dealing with seasonal allergies, which I hadn't had to deal with for several years. I don't know if it's because I've been getting chronic homeopathic care and it's just bringing that out in me, because I thought I healed my allergies almost like, I think it was 9 years ago. Yeah, I think it was 2012 when I did the GAPS diet, and I didn't have seasonal allergies again. My whole life, almost, I had been getting allergy shots from the time, I think it was when I was 5 that I started to get it. I got one shot once a week, and then my family moved to South Carolina, and we had to do 3 shots a week. And I never thought that it helped me. I still had allergies I was dealing with. I had to take antihistamines and like a nose spray and stuff. And by the time I got to college, there was a point where it just became way too inconvenient for me to do the allergy shots, because they had just such a small window of time where you could go to the, what would you call it? Like the hospital center at the university. And they just had it like 1 or 2 days a week between like the hours of 1 and 4. And you had to make an appointment, and it was first come, first serve, which absolutely makes no sense. So it was so annoying to have to wait, even though you got like the first appointment and you tried to be the first person there, but you weren't the first person there. So sometimes I had to wait like up to an hour just to get the shots that weren't even helping me. So I just stopped getting allergy shots then, and I was like, I would just rather deal with my allergies. So anyway, fast forward to today. I've been dealing with that this year, and I've been trying to get help through homeopathy, chronic homeopathic care, but sometimes you just have to be patient for these things to really take effect. And so let's move on to the nose sprays. I tried this natural nose spray called Xlear. It's the same brand as this, but it's not a sinus rinse, it's a nose spray. And on the directions here, it says spray 2 to 4 times in each nostril, and I guess it says use at least twice daily, morning and night. So I guess you could do it more than 2 times if you wanted. And it's perfectly safe for pregnancy if you're pregnant. Same with these nasal rinses. It's just, this one also has xylitol. So does this one. But it's, this one's purified water, xylitol, USP, sodium chloride, grapefruit seed extract. And, this is sodium bicarbonate and salt. So those are perfectly safe during pregnancy if you are. And so, yeah, I've tried those. Now I'm going to move on to something that I'm not so proud of, but I just haven't been getting the relief I need. Because yes, these sinus rinses help me, but I still felt constricted in my nose. And sometimes the congestion would return. So I was like, okay, I might need a nose spray, especially to breathe at night. It would get like especially bad at night for me. And so my husband got me Zygam. This one's intense sinus relief. He like accidentally got me this one, and this one is extreme congestion relief, and I'm not a big fan of it because it's not fully natural, because the active ingredient is oxymetazoline hydrochloride at 0.05%. Let me see if it lists anything else on here. I don't know too much about that, but I just know it's not fully natural. However, these two are safe during pregnancy, which is good. So if you're really needing relief and you are pregnant, then that's a good option. But again, like I'd rather stay away from these because they're not natural like the other things. So the only reason I was doing this is just so that I could breathe at night, because it's also not good for me to not be sleeping at night. It would keep me awake at night with my congestion trying to breathe out of my nose. So the directions on here say that you can use 2 to 3 sprays in each nostril, not more than every 10 to 12 hours. Now, I only do 1 spray in each nostril, and I just do it right before bed if I need it. If I can get away without doing it, then I do. But that's my philosophy on that. I'm really hoping that the homeopathy will kick in soon and I won't need this anymore. Now, my other options, if you don't want to do that, would be, I've heard that you can take up to a tablespoon a day of bee pollen, local bee pollen preferably, because you're getting that pollen from the area around you, which is what you might be allergic to. But you're supposed to build up to that much. So you can start with maybe just a pellet or up to like maybe 3 pellets starting out, and then just build up to like a teaspoon and then up to a tablespoon, and just see if you get a reaction of some sort. So if you do, you want to back off from that and go back to where you weren't getting a reaction. I've also heard that you could take a tablespoon of local honey a day. I haven't tried that. I tried the bee pollen like several years ago, but I just haven't done that in a while. I didn't really like the taste of it, to be honest with you guys. And the other option, as I said before, is homeopathy. So getting chronic homeopathic care. It does help with many chronic conditions, and I highly recommend it. It's helped me and my family very much over the past few years. I guess like a final option would be to work with a naturopath, and maybe they can help you get through your options. Oh, one other option I should discuss. I mentioned it before, but the GAPS diet. The GAPS diet, it just like wiped out my seasonal allergies. And maybe that is something I still need to go through. Maybe I still need to do the GAPS diet, but it's just not something that I really want to tackle right now with 2 little children. I mean, it probably would be a great option for like the whole family, but I don't know. It's a lot of work to do, and it gets to be very expensive too, especially with a family. So it was hard enough for me to do the GAPS diet several years ago when I was single. And it was also hard because I was traveling for my job. So I had to find options wherever I was traveling, and that was very difficult, especially if I had to go out to eat. And I think the result of that, because a lot of times when you're going out to eat, you can't find like carbohydrates that are okay on the GAPS diet. And so I would be doing, I don't know if it would be considered ketogenic or not, because I was eating a lot of protein, and I've heard that that can convert to, I don't know if it converts to carbohydrates necessarily in your body, but I think it might take you out of ketosis from what I've heard. So I just was eating a very low carbohydrate diet, especially when I was traveling for work and going out to eat, because a lot of options, like they're not even paleo options. Like you could get white rice a lot of restaurants, but you can't eat grains on the GAPS diet. So I couldn't even do that. And sometimes they'll offer potatoes or sweet potatoes at a restaurant, but you can't do potatoes on the GAPS diet. You have to do like squash, butternut squash, or fruits, or just certain types of soaked beans or lentils, and that's not always an option at a restaurant. So I think I unintentionally put myself into adrenal fatigue, and that's why I got off the GAPS diet, because I just didn't think I could handle it anymore. I just didn't have any energy left. I'll link to my maybe to a couple of my blog posts from a while back on that if you guys want to read about that. But if you have the patience for it, if you're willing to do it, then I would definitely recommend doing the GAPS diet, because it can get rid of your allergies. I certainly experienced that myself, and I experienced it almost right away on the GAPS diet. So anyway, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know what you think, and I'd love to hear if you have better suggestions than what I gave here. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful week, and may God bless you and your family.